right, what's up? Let me finally get this one out of the way. I've been meaning to speak on this for a while, but and I kind of my hand is forced because more and more news keeps coming out. Now, obviously, before I started hearing a lot of the news about what's going on the set of the Ellen DeGeneres show, I had already. I mean, it's almost like right on cue, like right before I was hearing a lot of things about her being involved with the, Pizzagate, Hollywood, Petalwood, uh, propaganda. That thing, the serum and all those things. Whatever. I don't really want to go into too much detail with that. But what I see happening right now that is unfolding is that more and more info is starting to come out. I guess as people are starting to feel more comfortable telling their story about the experiences. First, it was people who, no particular order, but there were people who worked on the cast. Who worked on the staff. They came out and had reports about how toxic the environment is, even some sexual misconduct among the producers and things like that. And you have some people who, like one gentleman less than 2 weeks ago, came out and said how Ellen was bullying him when he was 11 years old. She was about 20 something years old, making fun of him for being fat. And I understand, wow, she was 20 years old. Can't people change? Look, some people are who they are for the rest of their lives. And if you need any more proof, or for the bulk of their lives, for their whole lives, whatever. I don't know what she was groomed to be. I'm not going to pretend to act like I even know her. But so the thing that actually forced me to make this video right now is the latest article that came out today. Daily Mail actually reports a lot of this stuff, and they kind of do some of the work for me, even though I definitely don't agree with some of these articles that come out. But, it is what it is. But basically, a 29-year-old guest was just talking about, she was a fan, but very disappointed with how it was, the ongoings of the show. And it says that that her kind on-screen demeanor is all in act, which is pretty much keeping up with the narrative right now. That she snaps out of when the cameras stop rolling and says guests are warned not to be funnier or smarter than her. Yeah, so right now the executive producers, the producers are getting all the blame right now, but come on now. If Ellen was who she appeared to be, she would put it into that like right away. Come on now. It's Ellen. But so the lady appeared on the show 2018 after flying from Chicago to Los Angeles to attend a taping, a prospect she had been excited about. Okay. Dia Mateo, I believe, probably not gonna say that name anymore, was even selected to participate in a Make It Rain segment in which contestants are drenched in water while attempting to win cash prizes. Despite being in fact, let me just speak on that because she was saying in this Make It Rain segment where you get wet for money or something like that, whatever. I'm tired. I haven't slept much last night. And so basically she was saying like after this, she was drenched and she pretty much was in the back, in the backstage for the rest of the remainder of the show. She was left, soaking wet for the rest of the show. And then, she wasn't a part of the show for the rest of the show. Mind you, she was backstage. And so pretty much left uncomfortable and all those things. But let's say this. She claimed that, okay, so pretty much everything I was already saying, she would break out of her kind act. Oh, yeah. And the 29-year-old was also warned by producers not to be funnier or smarter than Ellen. And remember, she's the star, not us. The series is currently undergoing an internal investigation into allegations of on-set sexual misconduct as well as workplace bullying. And I can't necessarily remember one of the last articles that came out about the whole bullying thing, but basically one of the people who used to work on the staff was saying that somebody was being reprimanded and all this and that was basically being kind of put on blast, maybe even ostracized in front of everybody. And Ellen just kind of was laughing, was giggling about it, whatever. But what I see happening right here, and this is what you call bridging the gap. Okay, so because the news is going to come out eventually, I would imagine, or and relatively soon. Just imagine being completely in love with somebody, you idolize somebody so much, and without warning, without any telltale signs, the next day you just, hey, this person went down for all of these fucking horrible things that are child trafficking, sex trafficking, pedophilia, all of these things. It And a person of this status, it would really cause a ripple effect. Is actually quite the understatement when you talk about this. So what we're doing is bridging the gap here. You want to get people to the point where it's like, oh, yeah, I could see that. A lot of people will still be in disbelief, but now it's like a lot of doubt is being removed when you hearing more and more and more. Like even my grandma was like, I mean, naturally, the older people would fall in love with these talk show hosts giving out money, got this kind on stage demeanor and things like that. But even my grandma, has gotten her hands on some of the reports that I'm speaking on right now. So that's putting doubt in her. And my grandma, she has principles, she has morals and things like that. So it's really kind of bridging the gap. You go from extremely liking somebody to like, wow, um, you got somewhere in the middle where it's like, oh, damn, you can't believe everything you see on TV, obviously. And then the more severe allegations start to come out, and then you like, yeah, see. And then that is going to, I'm not going to say that's going to be the domino effect, as you already, that's not going to be the domino, as because things are already happening. There's already been a lot of connections, a lot of dots being put on the board uh, with Hollywood and, just celebrities in general being kind of been put out there, as what they are. And so this is what I see happening, and it's just obviously going to be a lot more of that. She's not the only person that's going to fall from grace. Obviously, a lot of people want to ask me, or a lot of people ask in general, when will this news come out? I mean, I hear a lot of things. January 2021 is almost like we get a fresh start, you know. But I can't call it. If things are happening the way we believe them to be happening, I don't care. It could take as long as possible. We just need this world to be a safer place for our children. That's what matters. That's what matters to me more than anything else. I speak on things like this, and it just kind of it gets to me. Not enough, but it really does get to me sometimes how people can try to mock me when like, and try to laugh something off, like, but can't really tell me where all these children are going, all these women are going. Where are they going? Where are they going, buddy? You think it's just this one maniacal person tugging his fucking mustache just got them all stored up in a farm? You gonna fit how many million people in a goddamn farm or something like that? Come on now. It's all tied together. If you don't know that by now, you need to go ahead and do research for your goddamn self. All right. Yeah. And I mean, you got to do quite some digging. Even though you can find some things on YouTube, you got to do quite some digging, man, because the timing couldn't be any worse. Like the information that we speaking on right now is coming out to light. Boy, it was up for grabs not too long ago. It was up for grabs 2013, 2014, things like that, and earlier than that, was up for grabs. And then all of a sudden, the internet got very much regulated and and censored and things like that. I mean, just I I just sometimes wish I could give a lot of people who are kind of joining the spectrum right now a glimpse of all of the things that I was able to get my hand that we were able to get our hands on not too long ago, less than 10 years ago, and how pretty much all of those things that we saw years ago is coming into play right now. I just wish, the fact of the matter is there would be a lot less doubt if we could still get our hands on that. I mean, what happened to it? I never even asked myself that question. Did it get taken off the internet? Did it get buried? A little bit of both. Absolutely. All right, so I just wanted to make this quick video. I was hoping somebody was going to say something so I can go ahead and keep that conversation going. But I have other things to speak on that's not as severe. But what we have right now is the bridging the gap process. But also, I just want to say, if you haven't seen Fall of Cabal, you go check that out. Out of Shadows, check that out. I just saw Above Majestic. You go ahead and check that out. All pretty good documentaries. And the common theme is like because we're getting momentum, you're going to start to hear more and more of this. See, in the recent past, people would be afraid of speaking out against things like this because it's a death sentence. And now apparently the momentum has us where it's like, how far do you want to go? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say that you can't get knocked off. I'm not saying that you can't get knocked off for speaking on things like this. I mean, naturally, it's like, okay, what are you willing to die for? But it's becoming, I don't want to give anybody false hope, but it's becoming a lot safer to speak on things like this. Good morning, Christy. You can't find shit when you search on the YouTube search engine. Of course. Of course. I mean, Twitter is doing a good job at censoring us, but actually you can uncover a lot of stuff through Twitter. I guess DuckDuckGo, I never really tried. A lot of my research kind of comes from not only what I was already privy to before the internet got just regulated, and it's just certain Facebook groups, they help keep it together. Like I'm a part of like this Q Facebook group is like over 100,000 people in there, and I haven't really been digging into that. But man, like Twitter is very relentless. Even some big names then got in on that. Larry Johnson used to be in the NFL. Boy, that man does not bite his tongue. I'm telling you, it's a sight to see. It's a sight to see when you go on Twitter and you got them blue checks checking the government, or not just checking the government, but checking the elites, checking the corruption in this world, checking the pedophilia, checking the trafficking. I even see Kirstie Alley speaking on this. That's something. You know what I'm saying? Big star at one point. Some would even say she still is. Yeah, Larry's the man. He digs up some things that, like I would have never thought to look up for myself. Like he showed one of these rituals. I guess it was a fraternity or something like that. It could have been Masons. I don't know, but it's probably fraternity where they break the egg. I'm about to throw up even saying it. Where they break the egg on somebody's head and then put the egg in his mouth. And then that person takes that egg and spit it into the next person's mouth and so on. And he was basically saying this is what people do just so they can act like they're better than everybody else. Interesting enough, I spent quite some time around some Eastern stars, and it's like the same thing. Very the lengths that people will go through just to act like you're better than somebody else. It's ridiculous. It's like you can almost trace that back to some very foul things. That's all I can say. All right. So with that being said, look, man, I'm about to get out of here. I also wanted to say something too. Just I keep hearing something about September 11th this year. Very interesting. Very interesting. So 8 weeks prior to this September 11th, I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry. I'm really all over the place. Probably only slept like 2.5 hours. Trump came out and was basically saying something's supposed to happen over the next 8 weeks. And then a lot of people on the interweb started talking. A lot of people who kind of who may know a little something about something the common theme was Nasera, Jacera, which is a global reset of sorts. Shortly after that, heard somebody named Amina. You can find her on YouTube on MREC's YouTube channel. It's called MREC TV. Was basically, and shortly after that, she was basically saying if you get an account on Experian, or it might be Experian, and I've tried this actually a couple days ago. Just go dispute everything on there, and they delete it rather fast. So I tried it. I finally did, and I take magnesium too. I definitely took mine last night. So I tried it, and very quickly did they start deleting things. So maybe it's a sign of the times. Maybe it was already readily available for me. I had always known about disputing things, and I've gotten some things taken off, like medical, hospital bills or whatever. I'm not trying to be that. I'm not trying to be that guy. I never really try to fuck over a system, even a system that fucks me over. But like at times when I didn't have health insurance, but I needed to go to the hospital, and you get them big ass bills, even just to be seen. I just go ahead and dispute that and get that off the credit report. Hey, shout out to you, Sydney. Wow, that's a ways away. I guess it's nighttime where you are. So yeah, Nasera Jacera. So you go ahead and start reporting everything on your credit report. But anyway, something big was supposed to happen on September 11th. That's what I keep hearing. Like something big was supposed to happen September 11th, 2001. Not what actually happened, but what was supposed to happen was some type of, and look, I'm not the most articulate person, but basically it was supposed to be a separation from the Federal Reserve on that particular day. And then you saw what happened. But which was also supposed to happen around the time where JFK got assassinated. All right. Now, with that being said, I'm actually out of here. I don't know if I'm gonna do it right now, but I have some more videos in store where I got the momentum, where I actually have something to talk about. I've scaled back quite a bit because honestly, when I think about what I want to put into this world, it almost feels like it's taken away from where I am mentally. So like I could speak on like for example, dating advice or something like that. And, I'm no dating coach or whatever, but just from a philosophical standpoint, I could speak on things like that. But it does not matter to me. At times like this, look, that doesn't really matter. I'm not saying having a mate and all that doesn't really matter, but just like where my mind is right now, I couldn't like the concept of whining and dining, the ebbs and flows of trying to mate right. That's not even where I am right now. Although there are some things that we could find foundation over when it comes to mating and things like that. I mean, I'm not saying you can't find your soulmate when it comes to fighting against child trafficking. You definitely can. What a solid foundation as I think about that actually. That is something to bond over. But that's just not where I am right now. I'm trying to, I don't want to be the doom and gloom guy, but things are just so serious. I mean, things are too serious to me. And this has nothing to do with what I was just talking about, but things are too serious to me for the small talk in the everyday life. Like, boy, it sure is hot out here today. Yeah, but what about the child trafficking? You've been keeping up with that? I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird in that regard. And, people want to say, oh, you're so negative and things like that. Why don't you just focus on? No, I can't. I have a child, buddy. I have a child. There isn't one person with a heart who has a child who wouldn't be fucking upset if something happened to him. If anything happened to him, I get upset if my child makes this face when I say no to her. That really makes me want to cry. Nobody prepares you for that, but it happens. Exactly. People can tune in or not, but but still, I don't want to be redundant. I don't want to just just I don't want to be a beat a dead horse, because to me, for me, it's a sign that I'm probably not putting more time into researching and things like that. I'm just popping off at the jaws. I just want to respect everybody's time. Some things are worth repeating. So I mean, there are things obviously that I will repeat, but I want to be fresh. Keep planting those seeds. You know what I'm saying? So I do have some other things to speak on that I will make videos on. The first thing that comes to my mind is what to do if you aren't enjoying your time here. So if you check out most of my videos, there I pretty much make them for me and people who are like-minded. So this next one is for me. I can't wait to hear what I'm going to say. All right, so best wishes, y'all.